Welcome, everybody, to Reason, Deism, and God. I'm Tim Wingate, your host for the World Union of Deists on today, the resurrection of reason. We've got a good show in store for you today. I hope you stick with us. We're going to be introducing you to the World Union of Deists, what our goals are, what we hope to accomplish, all the kinds of things that you need to understand how wonderful embracing the concept of deism is in your life and how it will improve everything about your life. Everything from how you feel about yourself, how you relate to other people, as well as it can help you by being free from all the weights and obligations from revealed superstitious religions. It'll let you be free to be who you were made to be yourself, the creative, dynamic genius that you are. Most people don't know who the World Union of Deists is, but we are an organization that's been around since 1993. And we promote the philosophical concept called deism. Deism was an idea, a philosophy that was adopted by many of the founding fathers of our country. It grew out of the Scottish Enlightenment, as well as which had grown out of the European Enlightenment. And all these ideas at that time, granted going on almost 300 years ago, gave people the opportunity to separate themselves not only from church control, but also church and state control. Because remember, at that time, the idea that there was the divine right of kings and queens and dukes and earls to rule over you simply because they could claim some biblical right to rule. Well, that all got done away with for the most part, and when the colonies got established in America and eventually moved toward the right to self-rulership and self-ownership, it was because of the ideas of deism. Now, let me give you a real quick little blurb as to what deism actually is. It is the recognition of a universal force greater than demonstrated by humankind, coupled with the rejection of claims made by individuals and organized religions of having received a special divine revelation. That's it. There are no gods and goddesses unless you want them. There are no doctrines and dogmas unless you want to impose them upon yourself. Deism basically embraces a personal right to rule, personal sovereignty, and the right to govern your own affairs as you see fit. We also embrace the non-aggression principle, which basically says that I have no right to aggress against you for anything. It is the duty of every true deist to vindicate the moral justice of God against the evils of the Bible. Thomas Paine. Now, considering all that, and considering especially what we've been told by the revealed religions that God is, we're told that God is an all-knowing God, He's an all-powerful God, and an all-loving God. You noticed I used the masculine form, that He is a he and not a she. Interestingly, very ancient religious traditions have a god and goddess culture and recognize the duality of the sexes because that is what we see in nature. But back to what I was saying, an all-knowing God, well, would then know the evidence that I need to be convinced of his existence. An all-powerful God is able to provide that evidence, and an all-loving God would want to, which makes all of us who have considered deism as a rational and reasonable alternative made it easier for us. Because when you really analyze the concept of the revealed religious superstitious God, he's not all-knowing, not all-powerful, and not all-loving. Look at the history of the religious wars that have engulfed this planet for human history. It's not a good thing. And to blame humankind for that and say it's our fault because we're sinful is a complete and total cop-out. Sin is an imaginary condition designed to sell you an imaginary cure. You see, sin is considered by the New Testament as a transgression of the law. Sin equals crime. Crime is a transgression of the law. The question is, which law? Whose law? Who's the lawmaker or the lawgiver? The Bible supposedly says that God is the author of the law. But why in Genesis is there 3 different versions of the 10 Commandments, which are the basis for the law? And in the New Testament, we're told that it's the law of love or the law of Christ. But very few New Testament ministers can actually agree on exactly what that law of love, law of Christ or Jesus is supposed to be. They don't even know what the word Christ means. They don't realize that it's originally the same as as the word anointed or specially chosen. And there were a lot of those people in the Old Testament. So there were a lot of Christs in the Old Testament. Totally confusing, which is another thing. Supposedly, the Bible says that God's not the author of confusion. But I'm confused. But I think this thing about sin is the worst of it all, and the reason being is that it's what sometimes is called greasy grace, sloppy agape. It is a situation by which you can do somebody wrong and then weasel out of it very quickly and easily. Let's just sum it up this way. Never trust a person who can clear their conscience of any immoral act by asking forgiveness from their imaginary friend. Sin. A fraud perpetrated upon mankind for a long, long, long time. It's time to get over it. And just like the founding fathers who decided to declare their freedom and lack of obligation to the monarchies of Europe, and they made a declaration of independence. We at the World Union of Deists have made our declaration of sinlessness. When in the lives of human persons it becomes necessary for a people to unbind the religious traditions and superstitions which have bound them with others, and to assert the rights of reason to which nature's God and nature's law entitle them, a natural consideration of the opinion of others suggests that they should declare the reasoning which compels them to the unbinding. When a long history of abuses shows a design to bind people under arbitrary, capricious, and unnatural laws, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such superstitions and to provide reason-based guides for their future well-being. The history of man-made, revealed, superstitious religions is a history of violent, personal, and social injuries, all evincing the establishment of absolute control through fear and the promises of present and eternal punishments and rewards over these persons. Now, interestingly, we have 11 reasons. And because of those 11 reasons that basically state there is no empirical, scientific, provable evidence for any of the revealed religions' claims, all they can do at the very least is claim that their holy books, their books of revelation, are very, very old. Therefore, we, the World Union of Deists, appealing to nature's God for the rectitude of our intentions with reliance upon the above evidence, which are firmly grounded within our natural and given rights, do and by our natural given rights as free persons, solemnly publish and declare that the holder of this declaration in association with man-made, revealed, superstitious religions is a sinless being and is no further encumbered by the rules, laws, requirements, or pains and penalties or promises of man-made, revealed, superstitious religions. Pretty cool, huh? We like to think so. So we suggest you declare your freedom from the myth of sin with your own personalized declaration of sinlessness and certification of sinlessness from the World Union of Deists now. Enjoy life again. Live sin-free. Free your mind, body, and emotions with the irrefutable 11 reasons of the Declaration of Sinlessness. No more groveling at the gold altars of revealed religionists who design an imaginary disease just so they can sell you an imaginary cure. No need for magic blood, magic water, magic bread, or magic wine. No more years of false guilt tripping and sighing and sobbing for phony forgiveness for fake faults. No more paying penances of donations and deprivations again. Both your personalized declaration of sinlessness and certification of sinlessness are printed in full color on high-quality parchment paper, delivered in their own black and gold frames, ready for immediate display. Help the World Union of Deists spread the light of reason and place your order now. Only $25 plus shipping from www.deism.com. You'll be glad you did. Now remember, that's www.deism.com. DEISM.com. Do you hear a phone ringing? Oh! This just appeared and it's ringing. Look at who's calling. Looks like some crazy, angry old guy. I better answer it. Hello? Who is this?
This is God. I am that
Right.
I am. Too bad you
Who
didn't
is
listen to
this
Sam.
really?
Then I could say, Sam, I am. I am that I am. The all-powerful, all-knowing,
Okay.
ever-present author
Why are
of the
you
Holy
calling?
Scriptures. Sorry, just swallowed a camel. Choked on a gnat.